for joining the Museum Crafting Crew. My name is Jennifer, and usually I would be planning the crafting sessions along with Judy and Margaret for the museum during the holidays. And as we're not able to do that at the moment, we thought it would be really nice to bring some of the crafting sessions to you at home. Usually we would be joined by Jo, Janet, Di, Susie and Lucinda, and so they say hello and look forward to seeing you again once we can all go out and about. And if you were at the museum during the holidays, you might well have come and had a lovely tea and coffee at the Mousehole Cafe, or you might have eaten some of Emma's lovely homemade scones or sandwiches, and so she says hi too and is missing you all. So the sessions are going to run every 2 weeks, so please check on the museum website for more details or our Facebook page, and you can check out when these YouTube videos are going to be going live. We plan on using materials that you would have around your home or that you might be able to get at any of the supermarkets where you're going to do your food shop, but most of it will be our challenge to try and find fun and exciting things that you can do with things around your home. But there are going to be some basic things that you'll need. So you will need some tape, you'll need some scissors, pens or pencils or crayons or paints if you've got them, pens and pencils, glue and paper or card. And at the end of each session, I will try and give you an idea of what the next one's going to be and what kinds of things maybe you can be looking for around your house, or maybe collecting even outside, that you can use for the next craft session. So let's get on with our first session. Our first session, called String Art, is inspired by the Scottish architect and artist called Charles Rennie Mackintosh. He was famous at the end of the 19th and the beginning of the 20th century, and along with 3 other artists was known as the Glasgow Four. And he pioneered the Art Nouveau artist movement in the UK, which was happening across Europe. And his style is characterised by bold lines and geometric patterns and shapes, which really lends itself to string art. And the idea behind it is that you're sticking string onto card to create patterns or pictures. So as you can see on this one, I've done a ladybird. And you can take it the next stage, so this one here is a flower, and you can put foil over the top of it, which creates that lovely effect. So it's very tactile and almost 3D. See that? Or you can do more of the geometric patterns or shapes like this one. And actually for younger children, you could just enjoy putting foil like this over card and with a blunt pencil drawing lines, and that makes really nice patterns and shapes. So I'm going to show you now how you can make your string art. So for your string art, first of all you need a piece of card. So I've just used an old pizza box for that. You need some glue, so either runny glue, Pritt stick would be fine, but runny glue is better. Scissors, need some scissors, pencil, and then string. So I've got this kind of string, but if you have got old cord like this one, that works really well because that creates a nice, that bold line we were talking about. Or this kind of cord, which is just cord from an old light switch, so you could use that as well, or you could use wool, but I'm going to use the string for this one. Now you can just go for it and do an abstract design if you like, but I prefer to draw mine first, so I'm going to draw a ladybird. So draw the ladybird shape here, the body. And then the legs. So this is similar to the one that I showed you, but smaller. And then we can put some spots on. Okay, so there's my design with pencil. When you're putting the string on, I find it's quite good to, before you put any glue on, just to have a little bit of a go at measuring out roughly how much string you're going to need. You can always cut this off, so it doesn't matter. If I start with the head, I think more or less that much. And so you take your glue, gloopy glue, and glue where it's going to be, and don't worry about doing too much. Actually, some more is better for this, so it sticks really well, and the glue should dry clear. And if it doesn't, you could always choose to put the foil over the top. So there we go. Take the string, glue that on. And if there's an extra bit, either what you can do is just bend that up into against the other one, or you could trim it off. It's up to you. Okay, next bit I'm going to go for is one of these outside long bits of the body. So I'm going to go around here. Actually, I think I might go all the way round. So just roughly measure that. Oops. First, so around about there, and then cut that off. And then dab your glue along the lines. The other side. All the way down. And then get the string that you cut, and then just place that over the glue like that, and you can see how the picture builds up. Now when you're thinking of your design, it's the simpler the better. If you try to go for too many fiddly bits, it becomes too complicated. So the simpler the designs, the better. And you can always add more if you think you want to add some background or something. You can always add more to it if you want to. And then just put that down. Now for the spots, it's quite satisfying to do spirals, and they are a little bit tricky because you can end up getting totally covered in the glue. I'll show you now. So if you cut just guess a little bit of a length, and then you start in the middle, try and stick that down as best you can, and then you sort of gently twist the string, and it will go into a bit of a spiral anyway. There we go, and then twist a bit more, and then go around that one, and then twist a little bit more. And we might need a bit more glue just to go around there. A little bit more around the edge. Go, and twist it all the way round, and it creates that really nice spiral. I'm just going to add a bit of glue to the end there where I've got a bit of excess. I'm not worried too much about that because that will dry clear anyway. Okay, so you get the idea. That's how you build up your picture using the string. When you finish, so when that's dried, that's then when you can cover it in foil to create that nice shiny effect over the top. And then another idea, so some other ideas with your string art. If you haven't got any foil or you prefer not to cover it over, you can leave it plain. You could use wool. So this is a really lovely idea where the wool has been either twisted or braided or plaited to make it slightly thicker to create these lovely spirally flower effect, and again braided or plaited to make the stems here, and that's all glued on card. So if you prefer to use, or if you've got wool and use the colour, that looks really effective. And we thought, because at the moment it's quite nice to be sending maybe birthday cards or thank you cards or just messages, you can make them smaller versions which you could send as greeting cards. So here's one again with the idea of the silver that's been covered, or one here with just the string on the card. And finally I'm going to show you one more fun thing that you can do with your string art to create some more. So I used the ladybird that I did earlier that's dry. So you can take some plain paper like this one, then using some crayons you can do a rubbing of your picture. So just like you would outside, you might do a rubbing of some bark maybe, or some pavement to create those nice patterns, or over money. Money works well. You can do it with your string art. You might need a bit of help with somebody just to hold your piece of paper steady. And go all over the top. Taking your crayon flat rather than pointing end down, you take the flat edge. It works well. You can see how your picture emerges because it's got that nice 3D effect. There you go. And you end up with another version of your picture. There's some other ones that I did, another red one as well, so you can choose your colours. Okay. That's your string art. So the second piece of artwork I'm going to show you is inspired by Mackintosh Roses. The Glasgow Four developed a style using geometric patterns and shapes, which were often used vertical and horizontal lines, and a stylized rose. So this is an example of one I've done. So these are the roses here, and then you've got the vertical and horizontal lines with odd bits coloured in, and you can choose that. I've also decided to add on some stylized leaves as well. And here's another one as well, another idea of what you can do. These ones I've used metallic pens, which give that more subtle kind of colour, and a lot of these you'll see in stained glass windows, which is why I've gone for that kind of colour. But you can use whatever you've got around the house really. So I'm going to show you now how to draw a Mackintosh rose. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to do the Mackintosh roses. No. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the Mackintosh roses. So I'm just going to show you and practice first of all. They're really fun to do, and I guarantee once you start them you'll want to do more. So you need to have first of all a pencil, a pen, Sharpie pen, some colours. So I've got my metallic pens here, or felt pens, or you can use crayons or paints. You need a ruler, and then some objects that are circles that you can draw around, and you can decide on the size of your roses that you want to do. So I'm going to choose this one first of all. So you just take a pencil, draw around whatever it is you've chosen for your circle. And then the idea behind them is that they're very geometric, but they also spiral around. So you take from one edge of the circle to the other and you draw an arc around, so like this. Okay. And then you find a space in the middle of the arc that you've just drawn, and you're going to do another arc to the edge of the circle. So, around like that. Then you find the middle of that arc that you've just drawn, and then you go round to the other edge, like that. And then half of that arc, and then you're going round half of this arc, and round to join the edge, and then this arc, and round to join that edge. So you end up with that spiral rose pattern. So let's have another go at that. So draw around. This time I'm going to start the arc at a slight angle, so I'm going to start here and we go around. Half of that arc and around to the edge, half of that arc and around to the edge, and I'm going to stop rather than carrying on to the edge of the circle, stop when I get to that line. Half of this arc and then around and stop when I hit an edge. Half of the arc and stop when I hit an edge. And then last one up to there. And that's how you do the Macintosh Roses. So practice those first, and then when you're ready to do your design, you can take a piece of paper like this. Often Macintosh's designs were quite long and slim, which is why I've chosen this size of paper. And then I'm going to take my rose, I'm going to do it slightly offset from the side. I'm going to draw around it. And then this time I'm going to go over it with a black pen. Now I tend to start at one side and go around part way, stop, and then just move so that I'm still making that arc pattern with my hand and I can see where the line is. If I try and do it all in one go, I tend to miss and go off the lines, but you might be better at it than me. That's just the way I do it. So I turn the paper as I'm going round. There we go. So once you're happy with your circle, then you can do just the same as you did before with the arc. So round, stop at the edge, then halfway, draw the arc, stop at the edge, and then another one, stop at the edge, and halfway, stop at the edge, and one more there. Oh, I think I'm going to do one more. There we go. Then to add onto that, Mackintosh often had vertical and horizontal lines. So I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm not going to go straight across the rose. The rose is going to be in the foreground and the lines are going to be in the background. So I'm going to start here, then stop when I get to the rose, and then carry on over the other side. And then I'm going to do one, I'm just going to use it by eye, a little way underneath. And then one more. Well, I think I'm going to do one more underneath there. Those are my horizontal lines, and then I'm going to do some going down the vertical. And I'm going to make those cross over so you get a nice checker pattern. Actually, I'm going to make these ones slightly wider. You don't have to, that's just me. And I think I'm going to stop. Yeah. No, maybe not, no. I think I'm going to do one more, just to bring the design across a little bit. And then some of Mackintosh's designs did add curves on as well, so a little bit like the curved rose. So just to add to the stylized design, I'm going to add on a curved stem. So I'm just going to be really bold and just go straight to the corner, and then add on a simple leaf shape. like that. And then I'm just going to match that up with just a line going up at the top, just to add a little bit of a contrast to the straight lines. And then you can start colouring in. So I have these metallic pens, which I really like, and I've got some bolder colours as well, but you can choose what you like. I think I'm going to go with the bolder colours today, and it's quite nice to choose a theme. Often when you look at Mackintosh's art, the roses were shades of reds and pinks or purples and pinks, but it's up to you. So I'm going to choose 3 shades. So I'm going to choose a red, quite a bright pink, and then maybe a lighter pink there. So you could choose 2 shades or 3. I think 3 looks quite nice, but it's up to you. And that's what I'm just going to focus on for my rose. So I'm going to take the bold colour. I'm going to try not to go over the lines. Let's go up to the black. And try and keep colouring so that none of the white paper is showing through. Okay, and then I'm going to take my next bright pink colour and fill in this area here. You could of course use crayons for this if you've got crayons, or paints. You could even use tissue paper and stick tissue paper bits on to fill in the gaps, because they're nice clear areas. It really is up to you what you like, and also maybe what you've got. And then I'm going to take this brighter pink and fill in this area here. There we go. And I'm going to go back to my red, and I'm going to actually choose to do this area, the red, so there's not too much red together there. But again, that's up to you. And then the brighter pink, I'm going to go in, sorry, the darker pink in this area. And then I think I'm going to go brighter pink in the middle. And then finally that darker pink in that area there. Okay, there we go, so that's the flower. Then I'm going to choose 2 shades of green for the leaf. So I'm going to go for a darker green and then a more of a lime green. And then the dark green. Okay, so that's most of my flower, and then we've got the background here. Now what Mackintosh often did was add horizontal lines to create some checkers, so I'm just going to have fun with that. And then the same here, but now horizontal lines. So put 2 there. It's a bit like creating brickwork. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there. And then you can use those to colour in. And then what I decided to do, again it's totally up to you, shows different shades to go in the horizontal, vertical and horizontal lines. So you could decide that you're going to choose blues maybe, or yellows and oranges. I think I'm going to go with blues. So I've got this metallic blue, I might use mid blue and a dark blue. And I'm not going to fill in every one, I'm just going to colour in a few of them. So dark blue here. And then maybe down here to create a checker. Yeah, that tiny bit there. Maybe a bigger section here. Some over this side. And then a bit of this metallic blue. Down here. So I'm trying not to do the same colours next to each other, just to give it a bit of space and so that your eye is caught around the whole of your picture that you're creating. I think maybe that's a bit on there. I think that's almost done, just maybe final couple of bits with the different shade of blue that I got, maybe just here. Oh, that's a nice petrol blue, I'd call that. I think maybe one there. Going to add an extra line. And you know, I'm going to add an extra line here, extra two, and put one in there. And then sometimes with these pictures it's knowing when to finish, and I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to stop there. Okay, so there we go. That's how you do a Macintosh rose. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed doing your Macintosh roses. I found that once I'd done one, I wanted to do loads and loads of them. So again, we came up with some more ideas of ones that you could use, like this one. So this one's done with crayon, choosing shades of pinks and reds for the rose and then contrasting colours around the edge for the crisscross pattern. And again, you could make them into a lovely card that you could send to somebody. And then here are some more with some more vivid colours of pens, but again, you could use crayons, you could use paints, whatever you like, and make them as big and small as you want to. So do have fun with those. Well, we really hope that you've enjoyed our first session of the Museum Crafting Crew, and we hope you have as much fun making the craft as we did planning them. We'd love to see any pictures of your artwork once you've made them, so if you check on the Abingdon Museum website or on our Facebook page, there'll be details of how you can do that, and we'd really love to see them. Our next session is called Spinning Around, and it's all to do with things that are circular. So I've got a list of things that you might want to look out for to collect in readiness, So old wrapping paper or wallpaper with nice patterns on them would be good. Magazines with nice coloured pictures in them. Tissue paper, if you've got it, would be great. Wool or any bits of twine or string or ribbon, that would be good. Thick card, or if you have got them, any old CDs, they work really well. Cocktail sticks or matches. And finally, any bits of decoration, so stickers, beads, sequins, things like that. And we shall see you next time. Take care.